Most moms think eating for energy means meal prepping on Sundays, tracking macros, cutting out everything they actually enjoy. And I get it. That's what it can kind of look like from the outside. But I have steady energy all day, and I'm homesteading, I'm homeschooling, I'm cooking everything from scratch, running a business, often all of this completely alone because my husband works away. And I don't do any of those things. I don't count calories, I don't follow a certain diet, and I eat dessert every single night. What I do is a handful of really simple things consistently. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what a real day of eating looks like for me, morning to night, so you can see for yourself that this does not have to be complicated. And if you're new here, I'm Erica, and on this channel, I help exhausted moms build small, sustainable habits that restore their energy and protect long-term health without extreme dieting or really intense workouts or all or nothing thinking. And a quick disclaimer before we get into it, I am not a nutritionist. I'm a mom who just spent years figuring out what actually works in my very real, full life. I grew up on Quaker oatmeal packets with, zero understanding of protein or blood sugar. And in university, I was surviving on microwave fettuccine alfredo. Just noodles and cream sauce, no protein, nothing that lasted. And I had no idea what I was doing to my energy. So if you're tired of feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, and like healthy eating is just another impossible thing to add to your plate, I'm going to show you it can be so much simpler than you think. So if you want more of this, hit subscribe and let's get into what I do in the very first minutes of the morning. The first thing you eat in the morning sets the tone for your entire day, your energy that day, and most moms are getting this completely wrong. Growing up, breakfast was always carb heavy. Oatmeal packets, like I said, toast, cereal, that was just normal. I think it was normal for a lot of people at that time. And I never connected the dots between that kind of breakfast and feeling hungry by 10 a.m. or hitting that sluggish mid-morning wall. It wasn't until I started understanding blood sugar, how it spikes and crashes based on what you eat, and not just that, in what order you eat those foods, things started to click for me. So eating mostly carbs first thing in the morning sends your blood sugar up really fast and then it crashes. And that crash is what's making you tired and brain foggy and grabby for those mid-morning snacks. So now my mornings look completely different. Right when I wake up, I have a small bowl of cottage cheese, sometimes with a few berries or a tiny splash of juice for flavor. Just something to get some protein in before anything else. Then I do my whole morning routine, which if you want details on that, I'll link my morning routine video here. And then after I'm done my morning routine, I sit down to a real breakfast. 4 eggs and either a bowl of oatmeal with blueberries or a slice of sourdough toast slathered in butter. That's a real breakfast. And it keeps me full and totally able to focus on my morning tasks all the way until lunchtime. You don't have to eat perfectly, you just have to make sure protein is in the picture early. And that focus of protein at breakfast is really simple, and it's the reason I don't spend my mornings hungry and irritable. So start there. And actually, if you're watching this and thinking, I want to just try one of these things and see if it makes a difference, I have something that is perfect for that. My 3-day energy reset challenge walks you through exactly that. 3 days, really small changes, yet you can feel a difference from it. So the link for that is in the description. It's free, it's short, and it's designed for busy moms who don't have time for a whole new routine. Okay, back to the morning. Now, alongside that breakfast, there's something else I do every single morning that most people spend a lot of money on unnecessarily, and I make it myself for almost nothing. I hydrate properly. You wake up dehydrated every single morning, whether you feel it or not, and most moms are so busy throughout the day, they're not getting the hydration they need. Stinking mosquitoes. First thing every morning, before anything else, I drink a full glass of water. And that's just automatically because I've been in the habit for years. It sounds stupid simple, but it kickstarts your hydration first thing. And then after breakfast, I mix up my DIY electrolyte drink. There are 3 ingredients in the mix: salt, potassium, and magnesium. And I portion them into little single serve containers ahead of time. So I mix one of those with water and a splash of juice, and I sip on it throughout the day. I actually have it right here. So I started making my own because buying a pre-mixed version was really expensive. And when I looked at the ingredients, I realized I could just make it myself for a fraction of the cost. So I'll link my blog post below with the exact recipe that I use. Dehydration is one of the sneakiest causes of afternoon fatigue and brain fog. The fix is to start a full glass of water when you wake up and electrolytes to help your body actually use it. That's it. Okay, the water's handled. Now, what does lunch look like when you're busy and you don't want to think? Decision fatigue is real. And making yourself figure out what to eat at noon and what to cook for your kids at noon when you're already depleted is just a recipe for grabbing whatever's easiest. I almost never make lunch from scratch, and that is completely intentional. Every night I make a big dinner. Beef and broccoli with rice, spaghetti squash with meat sauce, egg roll in a bowl, whatever it is. And I always make a lot extra. So lunch the next day is just, I open the fridge, we heat it up and eat it. It's already a balanced meal, it's high protein, and it requires zero thought. The best thing. And on the rare days that there are no leftovers, I have 2 backup meals that I can throw together without thinking. One is chickpea pasta with garlic, broccoli, and butter. Chickpea pasta is high in protein on its own. And the other one is tuna salad. So lunch does not need to be impressive. It needs to be easy, and it needs to have protein. So just cook more at dinner and eat it for lunch. Cook once, eat twice. That's the whole system. And it makes it so easy. Okay, breakfast done, lunch is handled. Now what about the afternoon, the danger zone for most moms? The 3 p.m. crash is not inevitable. It's a blood sugar problem. And a tiny bit of intention fixes it completely. So I do have an afternoon snack most days. And I'm pretty deliberate about what it looks like. It's always something with protein or fiber. And if I'm eating a carb, I pair it with one of those things. So something like sliced cheese and fruit, or just a handful of nuts. Never just crackers on their own or fruit by itself. And one of my students, Daria, she told me that once she started paying attention to blood sugar after going through my course, her afternoon headaches and migraines basically disappeared. She stopped needing that 3 p.m. nap also. And that matches exactly what I experienced when I started to eat based on what I knew about blood sugar. It's such a small thing, but it's the difference between coasting through the afternoon, having a good afternoon, and hitting a wall. So the afternoon crash most moms chalk up to just being tired is usually blood sugar instability. And the fix is eating enough protein at lunch and having protein or fiber with your snack. Dinner is where most moms make or break their energy the next day. So here's what that looks like for me. Dinner is the meal that sets up everything else. Your energy that evening, your sleep, tomorrow's lunch, if you're doing my strategy, and whether your family actually gets fed well on the hardest days. Every dinner in our house is built the same way. A protein, that's the focus, a vegetable, and usually a carb. Potatoes, rice, homemade bread, whatever we have. So something like meatloaf with roasted carrots and mashed potatoes, or sausage soup with toast. Real food cooked from scratch every night. And I always make a lot because that's tomorrow's lunch already handled. Now, here's the one thing I do at dinner. I always eat some protein and vegetables before I touch the carb on my plate. I serve it all together and I just eat it in a certain order. Protein and veg first, then potatoes or rice or bread. It sounds almost too simple to matter, but the order you eat your food in genuinely changes how your blood sugar responds to that meal. I actually wore a glucose monitor for 2 weeks last year to test this myself because I'm weird. Same foods, different order. And the difference in my blood sugar spike was significant. So eating the carb last keeps things stable. Stable blood sugar means steady energy instead of that rise and then dip and sluggish feeling after dinner. Now, during the weeks that I'm solo parenting, I lean on my freezer. I freeze portions from dinner specifically for the days when I have less time or I just want more of a break. So, even when my husband has been gone for 2 weeks, dinner is still a real meal. It just comes from the freezer instead of the stove. So, you don't need a complicated dinner rotation. You need a protein, a vegetable, and whatever carb works for your family, made in enough quantity that lunch takes care of itself tomorrow. And if you do one thing differently at the table tonight, eat your protein and vegetables before you get to the carb. That one small habit done consistently changes how you feel for the rest of the evening.
Where's that piece? Did you swallow it?
And then we get to the part of the day I think will surprise you the most. I eat dessert every single night, but I do it strategically. Deprivation doesn't work long term, and you actually don't have to deprive yourself to eat in a way that supports your energy and your health. We have dessert every single night in this house, every night, and I am not exaggerating. Some of our favorites are cottage cheese cheesecake, homemade ice cream, chocolate pudding, sourdough cinnamon rolls, strawberry shortcake. We have lots of favorites. And honestly, the easiest one, my backup option, is just frozen berries with whipped cream. I always keep both of those on hand for exactly this reason. These desserts are made with whole food ingredients, whole grains where applicable, and minimal sugar. They're delicious. My kids love them. We all sit down and enjoy them together after dinner. And here's the part that matters. We eat dessert right after dinner. That's not an accident. When you eat something sweet right after a balanced meal that had protein and fat and fiber, your body processes the sugar completely differently than if you had had it on an empty stomach. Your dinner slows that blood sugar spike dramatically. So you get to enjoy something sweet without the crash. Now, no snacking after that. That's my boundary. Dinner, dessert, done. Unless I'm pregnant and I need extra protein later, in which case I'll do like a hard-boiled egg or something. My goal was never to white knuckle my way through restriction. My goal was to build a way of eating that I could actually live with forever. Dessert every night, real dessert that tastes good, is part of that for us. So you just have to be intentional about when and what. So that's the full picture of how I eat. But I want to make sure you leave with the most important takeaway from all this, the thing that actually made it stick. Remember, I didn't grow up eating this way. I was the girl eating microwaved fettuccine alfredo and wondering why I was exhausted. This took time, so I built it slowly. I didn't overhaul my diet overnight. I made one small shift at a time, repeated until it felt automatic, and then I do the next thing. And that's how change actually works. Not a dramatic reset, just really small shifts done consistently until they become just how you cook and how you eat. And my student Krista said something that is what I experienced as well. She said she used to try to change everything at once, and it would leave her completely overwhelmed. But when she started small, really almost insultingly small in my course, things actually started to stick for the first time. So that's what I want for you. If you want to put one of these into practice starting tomorrow, my 3-day energy reset challenge is the place to start. It's just 3 days, one small shift at a time. So you can sign up in the description below. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which one of these is the thing you're going to start with? And if you want to hear 5 habits that I thought were making me a good mom, but were actually draining me, watch this next video.